Tell you a story about my man Thomas the Bombist. There we were on the tennis courts. We were playing hockey. A family shows up in a minivan. We got a net out of the minivan set up.
Is this a story about Sandy Vagina?
True story, by the way.
True story.
This is a true story.
They got a net out to set up to play volleyball. They were just having fun in the park. We're playing on tennis courts. The mom of the family comes over with a basket full of balls and sets them up and starts hitting her serves. So we kind of compress to one side, you know, just one little court, one half of a court, if you will. And we're, you know, every now and again a ball goes over there, one of hers comes over here. We're real cool. Here's yours. We just get out of your way.
Here's yours, here's mine.
Well, when we take a break, she comes over and she's like, you know, I don't know, real passive aggressively. She's like, I just don't know if you boys are supposed to be out here on the tennis courts playing hockey like this. I mean, there's a sign over here that says no skating bikes or skateboards or anything. I just assumed that meant no rollerblades like what you guys have right now. I don't know though. And we were like, so what are you saying? And she's like, well, I'm just saying, I mean, I'm not sure that you guys are supposed to be out here playing hockey, tearing up the courts like this. And we thought she was joking. She was
serious.
She was not. She was serious. So there we were. A stalemate. A stalemate, if you will. The woman's name was Sandy Vagina.
Who named her?
The wind was angry that day, my friends, as it blew across the courts. A tumbleweed passed.
Bounce like a bow.
None of that. None of
Okay,
that.
my bad.
So there we were at a standoff. We said, well, so what can we do about it? We're playing hockey. She says, well, I just don't think you boys are supposed to be out there. She said, you boys read the Bible? We said, what? She said, well, it's... did I say true story? Because I swear to God, I said true story.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something that doesn't happen when I say true story, and that's lies. She said, "Do you boys read the Bible avidly?" We said, "What does that have to do with anything?" She said, "Well, it says in the Bible that you should follow the rules of man as well as of God, and it seems like it's a rule on these tennis courts." Did she say that? Did she say that?
She said that.
You can't make this
We
shit
started
up.
laughing. We did.
We thought she was joking because she said you should obey the rules of man as well as those of God. And it says on the fence that you guys shouldn't be out here skating. That's all I'm saying. But then again, I don't know. And we were like, I could be wrong. I could be misinterpreting this. Well, that day, as we were all in an indecisive moment, a great man named Thomas Abadano stepped up
my God.
as a representative of all the SharkMonkeys. And he said, listen, lady. He said, listen, lady. Are you going to call the cops or what?
I got a tennis racket in the backseat of my car.
No. He said, so you going to call the cops or what? She's like, well, you didn't want to have to come to that. He's like, you want to play tennis? He's like, I've got shoes and a tennis racket in my trunk, back of my car. We'll play tennis. He said, just you and me. How about we play for the courts? You win, we'll leave. I win, you bominos. Well, she didn't want any of that. But she did, however, want to involve the law in it. So as we're packing up, she gets on the phone with the cops. She did call the cops. They said they'd send an officer right over. And in fact, they did. They had one in the area. He showed up. He came as we're packing up. And he said, is there some kind of problem here? And she said, well, not a problem so much just as I just wanted you to clear something up. She said, we seem to have a disagreement. See, I think that these boys shouldn't be skating on the tennis courts with their skates tearing it up, and they seem to think that it's okay. And I could be wrong, but I'm just reading the sign. Well, he looks the sign over and says, well, that is in fact an edict put up by the city, and it is a law. Now that said, and all things considered, I really don't see that they're doing any harm, so it's okay with me if they want to play hockey, as long as they're not bothering anybody, and as long as they're willing to yield to tennis players, which we absolutely were. We gave her court. Does she need both courts? I don't think so. She sucked. I'm not gonna lie to you. Thomas would have embarrassed her. Quickly.
I was actually
She
wanting to see them play each other.
Yeah, so did I. That's
She
what I wanted to
basically
see.
said, she was like, well, I just thought that, you know, they're probably, I come out to these courts a lot. She started to backpedal. She said, I come out to these courts a lot, and I'm just sure that, you know, they're just tearing them up with their little skates, you know, going in the dents and just pulling up asphalt. And he said, well, that may be true, but he said, it's really no different than your tennis shoes. What really gets it is erosion. Water getting down in there, freezing, cracking asphalt. And we were like, this guy is the most amazing coach we've ever seen. He was totally on our side. And so basically it ended with him saying, well, I don't know what, you know, the guy who works Monday through Wednesday does, but I'm out here Thursday through the weekends, and if they're out here not bothering anybody, I don't see why they can't play hockey. What would really be great is if you guys just kind of found a way to share the courts, you know? But I'm not going to stop them. And we were kind of like, it's nice, nice. But inside we were like, sucking Sandy Vagina, bitch. Well, we didn't say that. We were just kind of like, well, that's a very respectable decision, officer. So on that day, a wonderful, wonderful victory was won for hockey players.
True, very